All right, so notice on 14, listen, I mean, you didn't even have to sort of draw it. All right, you had two angles and a side, right? So it's either angle, angle, side, or angle, side, angle. Either way, it's not the ambiguous case, is it? Okay, so it's just one triangle. Okay, no, not even thinking about it. Now, number 16, that was side, side, angle. Okay, so let's work out 16 since we got a question about it. Okay. All right, let's see what they told me. All right, they gave me angle B was 37. Now remember when I told you to draw these, can't win for losing today. Okay. I'll get another one. All right, finally, here we go. What number are we doing? 16. Okay. All right. Angle B is 37, so I'm putting it, we said down here, right? Now, notice what kind of angle. What is really important to determine whether it's acute or obtuse. All right. Let's go over, I know this one's acute, right? Let's go over the obtuse case. So if it's obtuse, all I have to be sure of is what the opposite side, the largest side is across from the largest angle. And as long as that's true, it's a triangle. If it's not true, then it's not a triangle. Now, that's with the obtuse case. With the acute case, it's a little bit more difficult. Now, they gave you on this one that little a is 32. So I'm going to put A up here. So little a would be 32 down there. And then little b was 27. Okay, so now let's talk about what happens with the acute angle and when the smaller side is opposite of the acute angle. You got to compare. Okay, now let's switch it around just a second and then we'll compare. What if the 32 was right there? If the larger side is across from the given angle, this is one triangle. Okay, so if this was 32 and this was 27, it would just be one triangle, no comparison. Okay, but when the smaller side is opposite of that angle, we're going to compare. Now compare what though? All right. 32 times sine 37. Okay. Now, y'all calculate that for me. I think it's like 28.5 or something like that. I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry. It's what, 19 point something? 19 point something. So it really doesn't matter the point something. What, 27 is going to be greater than that. So that means it would be two triangles. Okay. Right. Right. So, right. If it's less than, it means no triangle. Okay. If it's equal to, it means one triangle. And if it's greater than, it's two triangles. Okay. Yes. On page 316. Now, I'm not going to go over those with you. We can work one if you want to, but those are the ones you can put in your calculator in your program to check. Yeah. Okay. All right. Which one are you doing? And we can work it out for you. Okay. All right, that's fine too. Okay. Which one are you doing? Let's call it out. Let's look at it. All right. Is this like from Monday night's homework or this weekend's homework? Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Now, this one, this one wasn't homework. This was the homework over the weekend from the worksheet. Okay. And I know I said I would like send you numbers 5 through 7. I videoed them, but I forgot to like send them to you. Okay. So I'll still do it. Okay. And I'll send you some more stuff. Okay. Now, this one, it's what you got two sides and an angle. So it could be side angle, or it could be side angle side. And sometimes you really don't, you're not going to know until you draw it. All right. So let me draw it. I'm going to put B down here. I didn't really draw it right because it's an obtuse angle, but all right. And then A here, and then C here. All right. So we got little a is 10. Little c is 8. Okay. So are we looking at side angle side or side angle? Side angle side. The angle is in between. So side angle side means we use laws of cosine. So with laws of cosine with side angle side, we're going to find that missing side first. Okay. So let's set up our laws of cosine with the b side. And so that's this formula: b squared equals a squared plus c squared minus 2ac times cosine of b. Okay, let's plug them in. All right, we don't know what b squared is. All right, a squared would be 100. C squared, there's my c, there's my a, would be 64 minus 2 times 10 times 8. Because I'm looking for the b side. Okay. Big C first. What do you think about that? All right, but the problem that you're going to run into if you try to find angle C is you're going to have two unknowns in the equation. Okay, so when you have side angle side, you got to find the side first and then find the smaller angle. Okay. Yeah, do you kind of see, here you see why we can't really find angle C? Because we're going to end up having two unknowns in the equation. Okay. All right, let me keep writing now. So we got cosine of the B was 100 degrees. So notice I only know, or one thing is unknown, just the B. Okay, now all we have to do is throw all this in the calculator. Okay. Let's see. All right, so 100 plus 64 minus 2 times 10 times 8. Yeah. No. We know everything, don't we? On the left, on the right side, we know everything. Right. So if the angle's missing, that's what you're thinking of, is you have to isolate this. Okay. But if I know everything, see, it's like already isolated. So all I have to do is throw all this in. And what am I going to have to do with that number right there? Yeah, take the square root. Okay. So B is just going to be the square root of that. So square root of answer. So we should get about 13.8. All right. Now, once I find one side, using laws of cosine. Now, what can I switch to if I want to here? Laws of sine. Okay, so you want to switch to laws of sine to find one of these angles, or you want to do it by laws of cosine? Laws of sine is much easier. And I told you, this is where I told you to find the smaller angle when you do that. So the smaller angle out of C and A here would be C, right? So let's set up a ratio with the C, okay? And then we're going to have to use the B ratio, right? So we're going to get 13.8 over the sine of 100 equals 8 over sine of C. Okay, y'all see where I set up this ratio because I got both of them, and then this ratio because I got the side, but I'm missing the angle, and it's the smaller of the two angles between A and C. All right, now let's cross multiply here. So we get 13.8 times sine C equals 8 times sine of 100. All right, so now what am I have to do to solve for it now? Now, just divide by 13.8, okay? So that'll go away. Now, that's not going to give me what C is. That's going to be the sine of C. So once I calculate this, what am I going to do to this number? The inverse sine. All right, so I'm just going to do it all on my calculator now. All right, so I'm going to do 8 times sine of 100. Now, instead of divided by 13.8, I need to say divided by answer. Okay, so I'm getting all my decimal places. All right, so now that's not C, that's just the sine of C. So we need to do the inverse sine. Okay, so it's going to give you here about 34.7. Okay, now to find angle A, all we got to do is add these up and subtract them from 180, right? Okay, so let me add 100 to that and then subtract that from 180. Okay, so about 45.3 degrees. Okay, now do y'all want to run the program to check it so we can go over to how to do that? All right, let me borrow a calculator here. Can I borrow yours there? Thank you. Okay. All right. Let's run my program here. So I'm going to program ACT. All right, it's the fourth one. Uh-oh, hang on. I got a little bit ahead of myself. All right, here we go. Triangles. All right, what was the given information? Side angle side. Okay. Now, as far as the order goes and the way that you enter your information, the only one that matters is the order is angle, angle, side. Okay. Otherwise, you can pretty much put it in any order. On angle, angle, side, the angle that's away from the side is the one you have to push in first. And then adjacent to the side, and then the side. All right. Now, so it doesn't matter which one I do first. I'm going to do 8 first. 8, and then the angle is 100. And then sides 10. Okay, so did I get all those? 34.7, 45.3, and then the other side's, yeah, 13.8. Okay. All right. Now, we got to move on here, okay? And I wish I could do more with you. Now, I'll be able to certainly do more with you the rest of the week. Number 14, where? On page 324? Yeah, we talked about that one. It was angle, angle, side. Okay? So there was no question. It's only one triangle because it's angle, angle, side. All right? Now, we're going to stick with this ambiguous case, and what we're going to start doing now is solving the triangles that we get with it. Now, the optimal thing to happen for me is that I don't get a triangle, because if it's a no triangle, then I don't have to do it, okay? Now, I'm going to do example 2. Example 2's got 2 problems. It's got an A problem and a B problem, all right? They're on page 321 here, okay? And all of them that we're going to do are going to be side-side angle. All right, on this one, you're given A is 3, B is 4, and angle A is 112 degrees. Okay, now, what are the potentials as far as my cases here? 2 sides and an angle, what could I get? All right, side angle side or side angle. So it could potentially be the ambiguous case. All right, now, I'm going to notice this about my angle. What do I need to notice about the angle if it's side angle here? It's obtuse. So let's draw it that way. Okay. So, and what we always draw it like in the bottom left part of the triangle. So this is going to be my 112. Okay. Now, let's put the sides in, and let's see if it's side angle side or side angle. Okay. Y'all want to put B up here. All right. C down here. All right. A is 112. All right. Little b is going to be 4. Did I copy down that right? I got them backwards when I'm sorry. I had them backwards. A is 4, B is 3. All right, so little c is missing. All right, now, is it side angle or is it side angle side? Side angle. Side angle side, they would have told me what that angle was. Okay. Now, so it's side angle, and it's the obtuse case. What's the thing, the little theorem that says it's got to make sense? What? Biggest side has to be across from the biggest angle. Is that true there? Yes. So that means how many triangles? 1. All right. Now, what if we switch these? No triangle. Because the biggest side wouldn't be across from the biggest angle if that one was 3 and that one was 4. So it'd be no triangle. So on the obtuse angle case, it's either 1 or none. No comparison. The comparison comes from the acute angle. Okay. Now, so it's just 1 triangle. So let's solve it. Now, let's use laws of sine. Now, which ratio do you know? Because we're going to start off with that one. The A or the B or the C? The A, because you got both angle and side. All right, so we do 4 over sine of 112. Now, let's see what we can find. All right, notice, could we find like maybe angle C or side C? No, because you don't know either one, right? So that will give you 2 unknowns. But B, you don't know the angle, but you have the side. So if you're going to find like an angle or a side, you either have to have the angle or the side given. One or the other have to be given before I can find it. So I can't really do anything with the C ratio, so I'm going to use the B ratio. So that's going to say, what here? 3 over sine of C. Okay. B, I'm sorry. Right. 3 over sine of B. All right, now let's cross multiply. So we get 4 times sine B equals 3 times sine of 112. Okay. All right, divided by 4. Right. So let's just skip that step and do what you said there. Let's just find the inverse of that. All right, so let me punch it in here. Yeah, I know this was like not as good, but all right. Okay, 3 times sine of 112 divided by 4. Okay, so I got 0.69, but that's going to be the sine of b. So to find b, we're going to do the inverse of that. All right, so angle B here is about 44.1 degrees. All right, 3 times sine of 112 divided by 4. So you got like 0.6 something. Well, that 0.6 something is not B. That's the sine of B. So how do we find angle B? It's on the inverse of it. Second sine. Sine negative 1 power, okay? So we got angle B is 44.1 degrees. All right, let's write it in my triangle. Okay, so it's about 44.1 degrees. Now, no, you didn't divide it by 4. 3 sine 112 divided by 4. All right, you get 0.6 something. All right, and now do inverse of that, inverse sine. All right, see if that'll fix it. All right, now, you see something that's going to be an easy find now? Yeah, angle C, right? Okay, so I'm going to add my 44.1 to my 112. Now, that's not C, is it, though? Okay, so 180 minus that. All right, so about 23.9 degrees here for C. All right, now, what's still missing? Side C. Now that I know the angle C, we can find side C, right? All right, so let's add now the third proportion, or the third ratio, okay? C over sine of C. So C over sine of 23.9 degrees. Okay, now I could fill in B and cross multiply, but I'm going to cross multiply with this one, okay, because I got both of them. So let me cross multiply. 4 times sine 23.9. Shh, y'all be quiet. Equals C times sine 112. All right, go ahead. It doesn't. So you could do it with the B. The only thing is you have to be careful and you have to use all the decimal values. Okay? Now, let me divide both sides by sine of 112. Now notice I'm finding a side here, right? So I'm not going to need to do the inverse. Okay, it's going to cancel out. And now we got to throw this in the calculator. All right, so here we go. 4 times sine. Now, not 23.9, but what's on my calculator? Answer. Okay. All right, divided by sine of 112. Okay, so that's going to round up to about 1.8. That's really not a whole lot different from other laws of sine problems that we did. Okay, but probably the only thing that was different in the beginning, we had to figure out how many triangles to solve for, right? And so it was one triangle. I really like the ones where you get no triangle, because guess what you do then? Nothing. You go to the next problem. You write no triangle, give me the next one. Now, here comes the fun one. All right, look on top page 322. We're going to do this one. All right, they give us on this one, A is 51 degrees. All right, A is 40. C is 50. Okay, and these are the sides because they don't say degrees behind those. Now, so it's potentially side-side angle again, isn't it? All right, let me draw my triangle. I'm going to put angle A in like the bottom down here. So it's 51 degrees. All right, you got side A is 40. All right, where do y'all want to put angle C so we can put side C? You want to put it up the top, okay? You don't like, okay. Yeah, I don't like that. Okay, we'll put B right there. All right, we'll put C right here. All right, this one's 50. Okay, and that's all they gave me, right? Now, two sides in an angle, you're going to have to decide, is it side-side angle or side-angle-side? Side-side angle. So do I have to stop and figure out how many triangles I'm looking at? Yeah. Okay. If it's side-angle-side, just one triangle, don't worry about it. Okay. All right. You have two sides and an angle, and the angle is not in between. So if my 51 would have been in between the two sides, then it's side-angle-side. Okay. And only one triangle. Now, let's look at this case. All right. It's what kind of angle? Acute. And the smaller side is across from that. So does that mean one triangle or to make a comparison to see? Comparison. All right. If the smaller side is across from the acute angle, you have to make that comparison. If the bigger side is across from the angle, then it's just one triangle. Okay. But the smaller side is across, so I'm going to have to make a comparison. So it's potential for no triangle, one triangle, or two triangles. All right, let's see. So compare what though? All right, 40 compared to times sine of 51. Okay, now y'all calculate that. All right, thank you. Jake, bring it up here. Now, greater than, thank you. Okay, so that means it's going to be two triangles. Okay, I hope you didn't have anything else planned for your day because it's going to take the rest of the day to get it. Okay, now it's two triangles, so I have to solve for two triangles. Okay, now here's the way I do this. I'm going to draw another triangle over here, and I'm going to have to find the missing stuff in both triangles. Okay, so that no triangle one is a good one. This one, however, sucks. Now, when we do this one, we're going to label it with primes to keep it separate. And your book doesn't do this, but I kind of like to do this so we can keep, this is my ABC triangle, this is my prime triangle. Now, the information that's given is still the same, but everything else is going to be different. Okay, over here, what was the side that's missing here? Yeah, little b. And so I'm going to call this one over here little b prime. Okay. Do what now? Everything else is going to be different. Okay. So like little b and little b prime are not going to be the same thing. Okay. Angle b and angle b prime are not going to be the same thing. They're going to work out different. Now, what we're going to do is start with this first triangle. Okay. The regular triangle, and we're going to find something. So let's figure out exactly what could I find. Could I find like side B? You don't have angle B, do you? Okay, so you could find angle C, okay, and you could use the A ratio, yeah. All right, so we're just going to set up laws of sine and find out what an angle is here. So we can do what, 40 over sine of 51 equals, do y'all see why we can't do anything with the B's? You don't know either of them. So you got to have at least one of the two. Now I've got the 50 on this one, so I can do 50 over sine C. Okay, now let's cross multiply. 50 times sine of 51 equals 40 times sine C. Okay, now y'all help me from there. All right, divide by 40. Okay, now that's not going to be the answer, is it? That's going to, right, that's going to be the sine of C, so we're going to have to take the inverse of whatever that number is. Okay, so let me punch it in with you. All right, 50 times sine 51 divided by 40. All right, and so that's sine of C, so I need to take the inverse of that. All right, so here we're going to get C is 76.3 degrees. Right. Mm-hmm. Really and truly, it wouldn't matter which triangle that you get. Okay, but we're going to start with this one. All right, and we'll all, just so we can be on the same page. All right, so angle C we get right here is 76.3 degrees. Okay, now it's really important that you recognize one thing in the two triangle case. Okay, and we'll do this around that angle because it's really important. Once you find that first angle, you can now go and find the C prime angle. Now they are not the same. So what happens is that this one will be acute and this one will be the obtuse version, even though I didn't draw it like it would be obtuse. Okay, and so the idea is when you find that first angle, you stop everything that you're doing. You don't do anything else but find this angle. You know, do not pass go, do not collect $200. Find this angle. Now, how do you find it? Real simple. You just take this and you subtract it from 180. Okay, and that'll be this one. So I'm gonna do now. So I'm gonna write it down in your notes so you can see what it's coming from. So I'm not really going to push this in my calculator. I got to put the answer in there. Okay, so y'all, you understand the urgency that I'm getting here to you? Once you find this angle, you immediately find this one over here. You don't find anything else until you get this one. So let me do 180 minus answer here. Okay, so it gives me angle C right there is about 103.7 degrees. Okay, and so what happens is on the first triangle, you get the angle to be acute, and on the second triangle, you get the angle to be obtuse. So you see how that they're different? Now, what else is missing now on both triangles? B. Now, shouldn't angle B be fairly simple? Just, what if you got these two, you can add those and subtract from 180 to find that one, okay? So let's find this one real quick. Let's do 51 plus, now I'm going to use the exact answer up there. I'm going to paste it down. And then subtract that from 180. 52.7. Okay, now that first one. Okay, now you do the second one the same way. So the order there is not really important. Again, yeah, you can go back and forth. All right, so now one thing about it though, the thing you can't go back and forth is once you find that first angle, you find that one immediately. Okay, all right, now let's find angle B prime here. All right, so 51 plus, now let me get my 103.7 and paste it down. Okay, 150, so I'm going to subtract that from 180. Uh-oh, I messed up. Oh, I hope that don't lose all my numbers. That sucked. Oh, there it is. Hang on. All right. Okay, 180 minus answer. All right. What would really suck, if you hit clear twice, it clears out everything. Yeah. Yeah. So don't hit clear twice when you're doing this. All right. So 25.3 degrees. Okay. Now, see, once you really do this step right here, the rest of it is just using laws of sines on two different triangles. Okay. So now what's still missing though? Side B. Yeah. Well, it's not always going to be angle C. I mean, it could be angle A or angle B. Whichever one you find first, you subtract that from 180, and then you write that answer in the other triangle. Okay. Now, we're still missing B, right? Okay. Now, could I add B onto my ratios there now? Since I know what that angle is now, right, I can do that. So B over the sine of 52.7 degrees. Okay, now, do y'all want to cross multiply with that first one again? Yeah, it's probably better. All right, so we get here 40 times sine of 52.7 equals b times sine 51. All right, now how am I going to find the b there now? Right, okay. Now, am I going to need to do inverse on this one? Because you're not finding an angle, right? All right, so now let's punch this in. And you got to be real careful about carrying over your decimal places. All right, 40 times sine of 50. Oh, I almost messed up. I was supposed to push 52.7. What do I got to do? Yeah, I got to paste it. Okay. All right, now divided by sine of 51. All right, so you get little b here is about 41.0. Yeah. Now, really and truly, I wouldn't take off if you left off 0.0. Okay. But if I put that, that's going to remind me something about that. That when I got that answer, I had to do what to get that? You had to round, right? Okay. Now, got to find little b prime. Or sounds like I'm saying little bo p. All right, little b prime. All right. So, can we set up some kind of law of sines ratios for this triangle? Okay. Notice what the two triangles are different, right? That's why I kind of divide them up. The only connection that we make between the two triangles is the angle C's, right? You're going to subtract this one from 180 to get this one. That's the only connection. Okay. Now, so let's see. We're going to use the A ratio again. All right. 40 over sine 51 equals. All right. Now, y'all give me the B one here now. All right. Right. Okay. Now, let's cross multiply. So we'll get B prime times sine 51 equals 40 times sine of 25.3. All right, we'll divide both sides by sine 51. All right, now let's throw that in there. All right, 40 times sine. Now, 25.3, was that exact? All right, so let's paste it. Divided by sine 51. Was 51 exact? Yeah, it was given, right? And so y'all see the point why it was kind of important to say 0.0 over there? You would realize that if it's, hey, why did I put 0.0? Oh, it wasn't exactly 0.0. Okay. All right. There we go. So this one's 22.0. All right. Here we go. Now, that was so fun. We should do like 10 of these for homework tonight. Okay. Now let me give you a hint about something. Okay. Um, I, I, I think in the homework there's at most 3. Okay, and we're going to do 1 in class. Now, let me show you something here. I'll show you a page of your test. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I'm not going to show you the numbers over there. All right, but I'm going to show you the answer blanks. So I wonder how many possible triangles there are in number 9. Number 9. Yeah, probably 1. I wonder how many triangles you're going to do in number 8. 2. Kind of obvious, right? Okay. So, at least you'll know when to find 2 triangles. All right, it'll be set up for you that way. Now, probably so. We'll figure that out because we got the meeting day and yeah, because I think Wednesday next week y'all having another meeting. Y'all have an awful lot of meetings. What do y'all talk about? Seriously. All right. Yeah, that's probably right. All right. Now, let's do, and I'm gonna do this one with you. I'm gonna help you set it up. Okay. And don't have a lot of time to get started on it, but we'll start on it, okay? Yes. All right, y'all look. All right, on page 324, okay, you're going to have to solve some of the side-side angle cases. Now, I think the first one that you get with two triangles is number 19, okay? So let's skip and let's go to number 19 first, okay? Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and take your picture real quick. And I'm going to do this for you because I still got to email you those videos. I'm gonna take a picture with a document cam of these and email it to you so you can have the answers, okay? Because side-side angle you can't do on your program. Now, all right, y'all draw your triangle for number 19. All right, I'm gonna help you get started on it. All right, number 19, you got A is 26, B is 29, and A is 58. All right, now it's potentially side-side angle, isn't it? So let's draw angle A down in the bottom left corner like we always do. So little a is going to be 26. All right, little b is 29, so this one will be C and little c. Okay, now that's side-side angle, isn't it? All right, now the smaller side is opposite. What does it mean about the number of triangles I'm going to get? Not necessarily, it could be. You got to compare. Okay, now if 29 is over there instead, if the bigger side is opposite, it's just one triangle. Just move along. Okay, now, but we got to compare. So we're going to compare 26 to 29 times sine 58. Now, one thing about it, when you get to the test question with two triangles, you're going to know it, aren't you? I mean, so you wouldn't really have to do this on that test question. All right, but now 29 times sine 58 is about 24.6. All right, greater than, yeah, so it's going to be two triangles. Okay, so draw the second triangle. All right, same given information. All right, now we're going to find an angle here. What angle can I find? B, because I got the 29 across from it. And the A ratio is going to help me find it, right? So 26 over sine 58 equals what? Sine B. Okay. So I'm using the A ratio to find the angle B. Okay. Now let's cross multiply. So we get 26 times sine B equals 29 times sine of 58. All right. Divide off the 26. So let's see. 29 times sine 58 divided by 26. Okay. All right. So is that the angle there? No, that's the sine of the angle. So you got to do inverse. No, you don't have to. Now this is what I'm writing right here. This is how much you need to show. Okay. And I would say this. You don't have to probably show dividing by 26. Okay. All right. So you get about 71.1 degrees. We got angle B up here, 71.1. Right now, okay? And so I can't emphasize it enough. When you find that first angle, you find the corresponding angle in the other triangle. So immediately I'm going to find B prime over here. Now, subtract it from 180, okay? So 180 minus that. So this is going to be the obtuse version. So this one's about 108.9 degrees. Okay. Now, from there, you could find both angle C's, couldn't you? All right. And then once you found angle C, you could find side C on both. Now, are these going to be the same? No. Okay. Are these going to be the same? No. Okay. They're all going to be different. The only thing that's the same is the given information. Okay. All right. Y'all got the two triangle case now? Okay. So it's a lot of work, isn't it? Yeah. All right. Sorry, I don't have enough time to get your test back to you. All right. And if you guys want to do this, you don't have to check the email. We'll put this up so you can take a picture of this. If you want to walk up and do that real quick. Yes. Yeah. Bring it up here for me.